It's my pleasure. Thank you for joining this podcast, for joining the documentary we are doing about healing from narcissistic relationships. And I'm super excited to ask you about your journey of healing today, and also some of red flags at the very beginning of relationships. So our audience are people in their 20s, 30s, 50s. Based on your experience, how would you describe red flags in a relationship?
Yes, thank you so much for asking. And it's very important actually for someone who are just starting their relationships to know, at least to have somewhere in the back of their mind some red flags. For those who never been through abusive relationship, it's just they don't have it from their experiences, but I would just say, just trust us. We will give you some advices. You can take them or not, but I would mention one straightforward red flag is, let's say you are on a date on your first date with your partner, with your man, and let's say you're in a restaurant, and you start noticing that he's too much into the waitress, let's say, or even if it's a waiter, it doesn't matter the gender, but too much open and nice, talkative, and has like very close conversation with everyone around, but not you. This is at some, like, you may think he's just a friendly person, but just keep it in mind. Just make some notes for yourself, and you can keep going in the relationship. But this definitely is a red flag when someone is too much into other people, like just the strangers who are not their close friends. Yeah, this is definitely would be something to notice.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Right. So it just doesn't make sense when you are dating a guy or girl, and they are like ignoring you, or the opposite. When at the beginning they're, for example, making you the center of their attraction, their attention, right? And they try to be super intense and show you how much they love you and how you're amazing. And it's very, I would say, short period of time, right?
It's also very intense, usually very intense. The relationship, the speed of the relationship.
So it's both. So it's like you said, treating others, like watch how they treat others, let's say waitress or their parents or friends or neighbors. And the second, how they treat you, right?
Yes. It can be actually, now as you mentioned, it can be actually opposite as well. It can be bad treat. They can be arrogant, they can be bossy with the waitress. So it's either that or this, but it's never neutral. You will absolutely notice that they are not neutral and kind of not situation appropriate attention to someone who are they not close friends with. You know what I mean? Yeah, over the overly nice or overly aggressive, or
right.
overly demanding or something. Yeah, but that love bombing of you also still love bombing of the waitress, let's say. And this is just because they don't they can't distinguish the deepness. They don't experience any relationship deep enough, so everyone is they treated the same. They treat you the same with the same intimacy and deepnesses as just strangers on the streets. Yeah, So that's very, very, you will notice it for sure. This red flag, you just will notice as a discomfort, because it would feel a little bit strange.
You can, I love what you share, that listen to your body signals, basically. And we have actually Facebook Live with us, Marisa, we have Thomas Lisowski, we have Chris and Jesse Correa. Hi guys, how are you? We have comments from Marisa sending loves.
Oh,
You get so many loves
thank
right
you.
now.
Oh, thank you guys.
From Chris, great, there is a comment, great early signs. I think it is to you.
Early signs. Yes, yes.
So thank you guys for your comments. And I would love to ask you about actually what helped you to leave the relationship, right? Because of it's so common that we are, as a survivors, ask like, why you didn't leave before? Like the guy this way and this way. So
what helped? I would say for sure education and knowledge of the problem, and help of coaches, and reading a lot of literature on the topic, and just kind of getting deep dive into that, the whole narcissistic relationship abuse problem. Watching podcasts, YouTube channels, Facebook groups. So that's knowledge. I would say knowledge helped a lot, and help of the coaches, because when you are in such an unstable mental space, it's very hard to trust yourself. You can know all the information, but you lose trust, and you lose kind of firm ground under your knees, under your feet, and so you are on your knees. Yes. And lose your firm ground, and you really need some friend, someone. I would highly suggest it should be someone who understands the situation and been through the same journey, and can help with advices, can with insights, and with just talking and acknowledging what you're going through.
Right, and somebody who will not judge you, right? Who will have your back.
Oh yes.
So that's important. That's why maybe support groups, right?
Support groups are beautiful. Yes.
And I love what you said about knowledge, reading books, podcast. Could you share with us a book or podcast which you really enjoy listening?
Narc TV. Yeah, is a great podcast. A lot of good information on that podcast. Book on narcissism, I would say Dr. Ramani. She comes first to my mind. Psychologist. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I put in the forum, in the comments, the Nards Abuse TV, so you guys can follow that great Instagram account. Anastasia, thank you so much for being so open and sharing with me your healing journey and the red flags. I actually would love to ask you, can you explain, somebody who's right now listening and has no idea about trauma bonds, like
it's a big topic. Trauma bond is very serious thing, and it exists, and that is actually the main reason why you can't, when they ask you why you didn't leave earlier, why you didn't, just as you mentioned before, because you trauma bonded. And they also call it Stockholm syndrome, dependence, codependence. It's all about the same, and it is it's more like it's psychological, but even more it's physiological, because of the hormonal dysregulation and that addiction to highs and then lows. It is basically addiction. They describe, I can't compare. I luckily was addicted only to my narc, but nothing else. Maybe a little bit to shopping, but it also a little went away with my recovery. So, but I don't know how to, like, what people who are addicts of, I don't know, gambling or drugs, what they experience, but I would say trauma bond is really, really bad. It's very, very hard to break that addiction, and it takes time for sure, and patience and will, very hard, strong, like desire to just break this cycle. Yeah, so I send everyone who going through this love and my good vibes, positive vibes. Yeah, please know that we're here for you, and if anybody needs any help, support, or some more deep connection, yeah, we are here. You can send us message, you can reach out, and we can just talk and discuss what's your current specific situation, your personal situation, and maybe even decide if it is abuse or not. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's just, I don't know, life crisis, middle age crisis, or young age crisis.
So,
yeah.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. So we have a comment from John Edward Robinson. It sounds similar to trying to leave a cult. Wow. I just had my aha moment.
Oh yes, actually, yeah. That's a very good comment. Yeah, I heard it somewhere. Someone mentioned it, the same. And those cults, they are actually have used the same patterns to get people to involve people in those cults. Same as love bombing. Similar trends that similar techniques, I would say, what narcissists use. So it's a very, very good comment. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Yes, it is. It does look like living a cult.
Right. So it's like that connection of the dopamine, and it's like living another addiction. It could be to could be to drugs, alcohol, or to person. Our brain basically reacts in the same way, right? So it takes actually 66 days to change a habit, right? That's why the first 3 months, it is 2 months, 3 months are the most important. And that's why the rule, like no contact is so important, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. 66. Yeah. And I heard some other numbers, but they say half a year for something, and don't get into new relationship sooner than 1 year. And I totally agree with that, because yeah, I think maybe even longer, because you need to meet yourself and get to know yourself. And once you need to start feeling how beautiful, how empowering, how just wonderful to be, to experience life without any obligations, without anybody around. Just try to live on your own, just at least some period of time after you're out of the abuse. Because yeah, while you're going out, those 66 days, as you mentioned, Anastasia, or other numbers, it is not your true living yet. It's not truly you. It's still you under those abusive spells, conditions, under drugs, addiction, how we call it.
Thank you for sharing that. What advice could you give to somebody who's listening and they are in emotionally abusive relationship? What could you say to somebody to empower them?
Oh, I would say that I think it's intertwines with what I started and what I finished saying. It's basically, it's amazing to learn who you are, to know who you are, because we never know exactly ourselves. We are so given and so out, and also when we're abused, we don't have even the chance to get to know at all ourselves. So that person, and just think about it, it's like you never knew that person, and you always, why we get into those toxic relationship, because we're looking outside. We kind of from one to another jump, not jump from one relationship to another, because we don't have the strength and that kind of spine inside of us, because we don't know who we are. We think that happiness is something outside, that happiness can be caught, can be found in someone, can be, but no, it's inside. So I encourage everyone, just you must find that strength and find that silence, just calm, and maybe loneliness, but then just bear with it for a while, but it will come with so much bloom, so much beautiful experiences. I didn't believe myself, but now I know from my personal experience, and I would suggest and just force nicely everyone to learn who you are, and to spend time with yourself, and just observe yourself, your reactions, your behavior, what you like, what you don't like, what you wish, what you enjoy, and what you don't like. So just, yeah, I think this is my advice. Become a friend for yourself and find that happiness inside of you.
Wow, Anastasia, thank you so much for sharing so many great tools to love yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, this is your life to discover. This is your time to discover your real self, to take time and space to actually figure out what you really enjoy doing and who you are, not just you know, as your name, but what is your purpose here. And
absolutely, not even yet. Purpose would come eventually. Absolutely, yeah. You can't escape. You will find your purpose. Every one of us will find. But yeah, just small things also, right? Start with small things. But you're absolutely right. The purpose, you will find your purpose after you discover who you are.
So what is your superpower, Anastasia?
I thought about this question and keep thinking. I think I would say resilient, but I don't know yet my superpower and my super purpose. I haven't found it yet, I think, but I think I will. At this point, I really want to help people and pass on my experience and become yeah, I want to be a coach, narcissistic abuse recovery coach. So I think I feel like I can help others and yeah, make this world better by discovering those beautiful people who got lost.
Well, good luck on your journey. Thank you so much for being here. This
Thank
is
you,
Oscar for
Anastasia.
you.
Oh my God.
For your
Thank
performance.
you so much.
Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
Marisa,
guys.
Melody. Thank you for all the loves. You get so many loves, Anastasia, from Melody, from
Thank you,
Chris, from
Anastasia.
Thomas. Thank you guys, and See you soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for organizing this beautiful event and your fund. And yeah, you're doing very good work and purpose, living your purpose. That's amazing. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure. And we leave your Instagram and Facebook account so people can connect with you and follow you on social media. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We are out. So
we're out. Sorry. How it's still recording. I was sure we're out.
Yeah, I was